Ladies and gentlemen, as we get things underway here tonight for the IMA Midgets coming to Kokomo Speedway, as this is your practice lap session. Looks like Dane Culver's going to be fastest so far with an 11.431. Followed up by him is going to be Colton Key rocking the 63 with an 11.499. Then you're going to have Grayson Price, Hank Suarez, Cody Malley, Cullen Hutchinson, Ethan Brown, James Turnbull, TK O'Brien, and Aiden Price will round out your top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be quite the party for you, everybody, here tonight as the IMA Midgets are coming to Kokomo Speedway for a 50-lap feature. We're going to have heat racing, D, C, B, and A main action here for you tonight at Kokomo. We hope that everybody's going to tune into the action here tonight. We hope that everybody has a great time. And as you're taking a look as these cars are making their hot laps around, Kokomo is going to get racy here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we've got about 37 or 38 drivers signed up so far. This is just hot laps. We've still got a little bit of time to go before we go green flag racing, as these guys are getting their cars tuned in. Hope that everybody is excited for the action tonight. Thanks everybody for being here over on Fearless Broadcasting. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm Tri-State Race Media up here in the booth. I'm over here every Tuesday and Wednesday night. Call the IMA Midgets on Wednesdays and the Wild West Dirt Tour on Tuesdays. You can follow me on all my socials as well. We're going to go take a quick commercial break while these guys continue to make their hot laps, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. As you see a couple of cars getting together here in the hot lap action. It is going to be a racy surface here tonight at Kokomo as these midgets are flying around the raceway in hot lap action. As there you see a push and a shove. That was Cody Malley getting the worst end of it. As it's going to be an exciting night of racing for sure, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is the IMA Midget Series over here at Kokomo Speedway tonight. We're going to be in for a couple of heat races, a D, C, a B, and an A main. The A main will be a 50-lap feature. I believe the heat races are going to break them into 16s, and we will go from there after that. Dane Culver currently sitting on the pole with an 11.431. How about Colton Key sitting second quick with an 11.499. You see Colton Key come right back out on the racetrack after kind of wadding up there in 3 and 4. That'll be the 63 of Colton Key. You see that one wheeling coming out of 2. As these midgets do have some horsepower. Everybody's going to be gripped up here tonight at Kokomo. We're going to see quite the action. You see them ripping the top, ripping the bottom, throwing the sliders. Is the IMA Midgets. Don't forget, this is just hot lap action here, ladies and gentlemen. As there's a couple of cars get together, Colton Key was going to be caught up in that one. As there you see the 22 of Hank Cerez. Hank was putting on a drive last week. Fell up a little bit short. Matthew Rogers was your win last week at Lima Land. Hank Cerez battled his way through the field to make the A-main. Got into the A-main. As you see him give a push and a shove there. Got to the A-main and battled with the leaders all week last week. He's going to look and see what he can do for Kokomo. As it is a beautiful day here in Kokomo, Indiana. 68 degrees, no wind. As we're looking for good racing here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen a couple of cars get together here in hot laps. We hope that we can have good, clean racing once we go green flag action with the first sets of heat races. See Colton Key there working the high side, trying to dodge that car upside down. That'll be the 63 of Colton Key, currently second quick. Be the 63 of Colton Keith, currently with an 11.499. Running about 80 miles an hour, come to the flag stand, sitting second quick. As it looks like his last lap was a 12.696. You see the leaders currently running 12.780s. It is going to be quite the show tonight here at Kokomo, Indiana, as the IMA Midgets come into town. They're no stranger to putting on a show, as we've got 38 drivers signed up here so far tonight. Drivers from all across the world, a couple of Australians, a bunch of Americans. Looks like we got a couple of Mexican flags in there as well. As everybody is going to be getting ready to go for their qualifying laps here for too long. Once again, we appreciate everybody tuning in over at the Fearless Broadcasting YouTube channel. I am Tri-State Race Media up here in the booth. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to live and to all your family and friends as the IMA Midgets come into Kokomo, Indiana, taking on Kokomo Speedway. We're still currently watching second quick Colton Key, 11.499. How about Cullen Hutchinson with an 11.640? He's going to be fast enough for sixth quick at the moment. As we're going to hop to a commercial break as the hot laps continue to go. We'll be right back.
Sim Race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
Royal Purple synthetic motor oil exceeds the toughest industry standards with 6 times reduction in engine wear and 2 times greater protection against oil breakdown. Protect your investment with the oil from the synthetic expert. Royal Purple.
Built on 70 years of development and race technology, iBox's exclusive high tensile strength spring wire is wound for maximum travel and control. Cycled and rate tested for repeatable performance, iBox's industry-leading manufacturing and quality means you can rely on iBox race springs to get you to the podium. Proudly made in the USA, iBox, the worldwide leader in high-performance suspension, engineered to win.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to be getting ready to go for qualifying action, I'm sorry about that. We're taking a look at the 187 of Landon Crawley. He's going to be one of the cars out on the track right now trying to set fast time. He's going to be working the bottom there. Was Landon Crawley. He got loose on the bottom of 3 and 4. He's going to try to reset his qualifying time. How about Leo Rubio hopping up to the top of the leaderboard currently with a 12:33 with a 4, followed up by Connor Baker with a 12:444. As these guys are going to continue to try to make their qualifying laps increase on the time, or decrease on the time. Technically, they're looking for fast times here. We're going to go to our first quick, Hamish Canastri, as he's currently running first pole sitter with a 12:309. 12:309 for Hamish. Now Bentley Summers is going to take over that lead spot with a 12:275. He's already ended his qualifying run there. Cody Miley coming out of the speedway. And now the pole sitter is going to be Cody Parmley with a 12:207. You see him working the bottom side here in Kokomo. 12:207 for Cody Parmley. That's going to be good enough for a first quick. How about an 11:962 that time around? As now you see Parker Leak jumping up to that second spot. That's going to be good enough for a second with a 12:205. 12:205 for Parker Leak. Parker Leak was amongst the battle for the lead last week at Limaland. We're looking for another good outing from him as he's going to be second week. Here's Lucas Malden. Lucas Malden currently sitting in 5th spot with a 12:284. As more and more cars are coming out to join the fun. How about Graham Huffman? Graham Huffman currently sitting 6th quick with a 12:299. And he'll go second quick that last time by 12:175 for Graham Huffman. Graham Huffman's going to be looking for some points here, as we have got quite the battle for IMA points. There's only 3 points separating your top 3. Your first place point setter is Rylan Gray with 103. Ryan Avila is second in points with 101. And Graham Huffman will be in third place with 100 points. As these cars continue to wind up their qualifying laps, looks like we had a total of 41 drivers make it in here tonight for the IMA Midgets at Kokomo. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks to everybody for tuning in over here at Fearless Broadcasting, as we're going to be getting ready to go for your first heat race, ladies and gentlemen. The action has now started over here at Fearless Broadcasting. Let's go ahead and go over our grid. We're going to be starting 10 cars. First up is going to be Cody Parmley in the 16. To his outside is going to be Parker Leak driving the 1 machine. Second row inside is going to be Lucas Malden driving the 55. To his outside is going to be Hamish Canstreri in the 24. Third row inside is going to be Cullen Hutchison in the 83. To his outside is going to be Timothy Thurin in the 7. How about fourth row inside? Walt Halfman's driving the 48. To his outside is going to be Jake Erickson in the 26. Fifth row inside is going to be James Turnbull in the 33. To his outside to be Oliver Golding in the 17. Cody Parmley will get us started off here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as we are under pace laps. As the lights on the pace truck are off, we're going to be 1 to green this time by Cody Parmley. He's going to get us fired off on his cue. I believe coming out of 3 and 4, Kokomo is got a little bit of a different start. And we're green flag racing here at Kokomo as Cody Parmley gets him started off. He's going to rock the bottom side. He's got a whole gaggle of cars with him on the bottom. Cody Parmley looking to escape the madness in the back of the pack, trying to lead all the way. As you've got 6 cars working the bottom here, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to 3 and 4 this time. It's a battle for the lead between Cody Parmley and Parker Leak. Cody Parmley, Parker Leak working it in there. Running the bottom side are they for 1 and 2. Here they come into 3 and 4 this time. They're all working the bottom. It's still going to be Parmley at the line, followed by Leak, Malden, Hutchison, Hoffmans will round out your top 5. We've got 6 laps to go this time by the flag stand. It's all Cody Parmley at the moment. As the bottom side is proven to be quick for these midgets the past 2 weeks as well. We were at Lima Land last week and Lucas Oil the week before. These midgets are no stranger to running the bottom as they get these cars hooked up for the feature races and the heat races as well. Cody Parmley putting a gap over second place now. Looks like we've got about a 1.5 second gap over Parker Leak as Cody Parmley's going to have 3 to go that time by. As now it looks like we've got a battle for third. A slider there from Cullen Hutchison as he's battling Lucas Malden for third. Going into 3 and 4. Looks like Lucas Malden's going to have it at the line this time. He does. Cullen Hutchison back to the third spot. Going around the top side is Hutchison. He's up 2 spots. White flag to go. As you see, Cody Parmley still working the bottom. It's going to be all his heat race here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Checkered flag this time for Cody Parmley. Followed by Parker Leak, Cullen Hutchinson, Lucas Malden, Walt Huffmans, Jake Erickson, Timothy Thurin, Oliver Golding, James Turnbull, and Hamish Canstreri will round out the field. Good heat race pickup win there for Parmley as he had about a 1.1 second gap over the leader. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting ready to go for heat race number 2. We hope you're enjoying the action here so far. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to live. As we take a look at our starting grid here, starting on the pole of heat race number 2, it's going to be Hank Cerez in the 22. To his outside is going to be Logan Julian in the 85. Second row inside is going to be Manning Urish in the 36. To his outside is going to be TK O'Brien in the 76. Third row inside is going to include Mason Skinner in the 926. To his outside is going to be Ethan Brown in the 34. Fourth row inside, Connor Baker, the 18 machine. To his outside is going to be Mike Nacki in the 19. Fifth row inside is going to be Jackson Holiday in the 23. To his outside is going to be Cameron Vericherio in the 6 machine. And rounding out the field, we'll have Hayden Colton in the 009. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be heat race number 2. Cerez is going to get us fired off on his cue. Could do a little bit of pace laps here for heat race number 2. And we'll be underway. Cerez has been a competitive kart to watch in the past 2 weeks, as he knows how to throw that car exactly where he wants it. He's not afraid to throw the slider for position. He's very well known for holding on to that race car, as long as, in my eyes, I've seen him battle pretty good the past 2 weeks, as he will get us started off for heat race number 2. That's going to be Hank Cerez in the 22 machine. Once again, his outside is going to be Logan Julian in the 85. Those will be your row 1 sitters, as we're going to be green to flag racing this time by, coming out of 3 and 4 on Cerez's cue. As you see Hank Cerez go down to the bottom immediately, we've got a 3-pack running up high. Ladies and gentlemen, they're getting together a little bit. They're coming out of 3 and 4. As we've got a battle here towards the back of the pack. You see all 6-7 cars battling it out for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position. 4 wide at the flag stand, as a cut down there from that middle lane car got a little bit of contact, as we are going to go 3 and 4 this time. It's getting tight for these guys. They're all fighting for that 2nd spot. They're all in it, as this has been quite the exciting heat race number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you got to say? That's going to be the 926 of Mason Skinner. Contact. You've seen the 49 just scrape by. As Hank Cerez continues to put the gap on him, it's going to be a 1.2 second gap for Cerez over Urish. Manning Urish up a spot, currently riding that 2nd spot in the 36 machine. It's going to be all Hank Cerez. We've got 3 to go this time by for Cerez, making the bottom work for him here in heat race number 2. See Cerez get a little bit of a wheel stand that time, going down the back straightaway. As you see, Julian still working the top side. He was your 2nd place car, currently sitting in 3rd, as he has not moved away from the top side of the speedway. He's definitely got the momentum on the back straightaway. White flag to go for Hank Cerez, as Hayden Colton is in the 6th spot. He started 11th. He's up 5 spots. Hank Cerez coming out of 3 and 4. Checkered flag for Hank Cerez. Heat race number 2 winner. Followed up by Manning Urish, Logan Julian, Ethan Brown, Mason Skinner, Hayden Colton, Connor Baker, TK O'Brien, Jackson Holiday, Mike Nacki, and Cameron Vericherio will round out the field. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for heat race number 3, we're going to go ahead and pop up the grid here. Starting on the pole is going to be Dane Culver in the 50 machine. To his outside is going to be Bentley Summers in the 3. Second row inside is going to be Eric Botelho in the 2. To his outside, Leo Rubio in the 25. Third row inside is going to be Colton Key in the 63. To his outside is going to be Riker Morrow in the 95. Fourth row inside is going to be Landon Crawley in the 187. To his outside, it'd be Vincent Gucci in the 09. Fifth row inside is going to be Joey Heinz in the 14 machine to his outside. Starting in the 10th spot will be TJ Moon. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of the action so far here tonight? As we are getting ready to go for heat race number 3 action in Kokomo, Indiana at Kokomo Speedway. The pace truck comes off. We're going to be all on Dane Culver coming out of 3 and 4. Dane Culver, one of the owners over here at IMA, looking to put on a show in heat race number 3. There he goes. Green flag racing here at Kokomo. As you see, all 7 cars, 8 cars, 9 cars go down to the bottom. 1 stays high. It's going to be a little bit slower pace here in heat race number 3. As you see, the bottom side of the speedway already flipped off. As you see one guy get into the inside tire and go all the way back to the back. As I believe that might have been TJ Moon that got into the inside tractor tire. Here comes Dane Culver. Dane Culver in the 50 machine, rocking the bottom, making it work here at Kokomo. He's got a 0.7 of a second gap over second place as they continue to battle for second behind him. They're going to be 3 wide at the flag stand this time by Bentley Summers, Leo Rubio, and Eric Botelho, all currently battling for the second place spot. As you see, the little bit of a slider that time there. Summers rocking the bottom, or the top, excuse me. Rubio on the bottom there in the 25. He's trying to hold Summers off, trying to get the second place away. Dane Culver throwing it in there on the bottom. Man, he got close to that tire. Dane Culver throwing it in hard on the bottom, leading the way here in heat race number 3. He's got 3 to go this time by. With about a 0.5 second gap over second place, Rubio and Summers continue to battle behind him as we've got a blinker on the front straightaway there with Dane Culver. It looks like to be lap traffic. Hoping that's not going to be an issue here for our drivers. As he got into it on 3-4, he's going to collect Rubio, I believe. That was Bentley Summers. Bentley Summers was battling for your second spot. That's going to give the second place spot to Rubio. Here comes the checker flag for Dane Culver. Checkers here in heat race number 3. That'll be your heat race 3 winner, followed up by Rubio, Maroro, Crawley, Summers, Botelho, Colton Key, Joey Heinz, Vincent Gucci, and TJ Moon will round out the field. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 3 heat races. I believe we're going to have at least 1 or 2 more. And then we will get fired into our B main, or D main, C main, B main, and A main. This is going to be heat race number 4. Starting on the pole is going to be Graham Huffman in the 05. To his outside is going to be Jet Martin in the 29. Second row inside is going to include Aiden Price in the 49. To his outside, Bryce Becker in the 27. Third row inside is going to be Grayson Price in the 8 machine. To his outside is going to be Drake Carday in the 59. Fourth row inside is going to include Cody Malley in the 88. To his outside is Derek Jones in the 72. Fifth row inside is going to be Brian Hubert in the 56, and to his outside will be Anthony Villagran in the 42. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be heat race number 4 here at Kokomo Speedway, Kokomo, Indiana. It is a beautiful night, currently sitting at 68 degrees. No wind here in Kokomo. As Graham Huffman in the 5 will be your leader, coming off of 3 and 4 the next time by. We're going to be all on his cue coming out of 3 and 4. As we get ready to go, heat race number 4, green flag action. Graham Huffman gets him fired off. Green flag for Huffman. As you see these cars throwing it on the bottom again, you got the second place of Grayson Price. He went down quick. Not Grayson Price. There's going to be Drake Carday working his way back to the back. Graham Huffman continues to lead the way. We've got cars all over in the back of the pack. We're going to focus there as this is where the racing's at. Cut down there from the 4th place car of Aiden Price. Contact as Cody Malley got into the wall. Got a little bit of a shove there. We're going to say green flag racing. Graham Huffman goes back into the 3 and 4. Got about a 9/10 of a second gap. As we've got quite the battle for second. How about Grayson Price up 3 spots? Currently rocking the 2nd place spot. He's going to be in that 8 machine is Graham Price, trying to track down your leader of Graham Huffman. Grayson Price and Aiden Price trying to track him down. As Brian Hubert will also join in the mix. The 56 of Brian Hubert takes over the 3rd place spot from Price that time. Battle at the line. It's going to be side by side, too close to call. Looks like Hubert is still have it that time by. Hubert's up 5 spots. Currently still battling for 3rd with Price. It's still all Graham Huffman out front with about a 1.5 second gap over Price. Brian Hubert up 5 spots in the 4th place. We've got white flag for Graham Huffman that last time by. Here comes a checker flag for Huffman. Heat race number 4 winner. How about the battle here at the line for 3rd between Price and Hubert? Look like Price will hold on to it. Graham Huffman, Grayson Price, Aiden Price, Brian Hubert, Anthony Villagran, Jet Martin, Derek Jones, Cody Malley, Drake Carday, and Bryce Becker will round out the field in heat race number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, here goes heat race number 5 as they are getting ready for staging now. Starting on the pole of heat race number 5 is going to be James Turnbull in the 33. To his outside is going to be Mike Nackey in the 19. Second row inside is going to include Vincent Gucci in the 09. To his outside, or excuse me, this is going to be your D main, ladies and gentlemen. Starting in the 4th spot is going to be Drake Carday in the 59. To his outside is going to be Hamish Canastri in the 24. In the 6th spot is going to be TK O'Brien in the 76. 4th row inside is going to be Bryce Becker, the 27. To his outside will be Cameron Veraccio in the 6th machine. And TJ Moon will round out the field in the 9th spot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your D main. We're going to have 10 laps. 10 laps here at Kokomo. As the pace truck comes off, it's going to be all James Turnbull getting us fired off coming out of 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is your D main. Green flag. It looks like we had 4 drivers back out of the race. That includes TJ Moon, Bryce Becker, Drake Carday, and Vincent Gucci. They had their fun for the night, not trying to push their carts any more than they have to. They're going to go ahead and call it a night, pack it home, and go home early. As Turnbull and Nackey are battling it out here for the first spot. Nackey on the top side of the raceway. He's found some speed. Or excuse me, that's going to be Turnbull on the top side. Nackey to the bottom. As now O'Brien and Nackey are throwing in. All James Turnbull so far with a 0.6 of a second gap over second place. How about TK O'Brien? He's currently up 3 spots, rocking the 3rd spot. TK O'Brien will be up 4 spots now in the 2nd place spot. James Turnbull continues to lead the way. We hope that everybody is enjoying the action here at home. This is your D main here at Kokomo. It's the IMA Midgets coming to town. We've got 3 laps remaining for Turnbull this time by. TK O'Brien trying to track him down. O'Brien currently up 4 spots, rocking the 2nd spot. Took it away from Mike Nackey. White flag to go this time, coming out of 3 and 4 for Turnbull. As Turnbull gets it done here in the D main. Coming out of 3 and 4 this time for the checker. We've got one upside down in 3 and 4. He went ahead and got out of there. Checkered flag for Turnbull, followed by O'Brien, Canstreri, Nackey, and Verichirio will round out the top 5. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am Tri-State Race Media up here in the booth for Fearless Broadcasting. As you see Turnbull go ahead and wad up that race car, celebrating the victory of a D main. I'm over here in the booth every Tuesday and Wednesday for Fearless Broadcasting. I appreciate everybody tuning in. As we're going to go C main racing, we're going to start 12 cars. Starting on the pole is going to be Colton Key in the 63. To his outside is going to be the 29 of Jet Martin. Second row inside is going to be Timothy Thurin in the 7 machine. To his outside, Connor Baker driving the 18. Third row inside is going to include Joey Heinz in the 14, and his outside, Derek Jones in the 72. Fourth row inside is going to be Oliver Golding in the 17. Fourth row outside, is going to be Jackson Holiday in the 23 machine. Fifth row inside is going to be Landon Crawley, the 187. To his outside is going to be Cody Malley in the 88. Starting at 11th will be the 33 of James Turnbull after that D main win, followed by TK O'Brien in the 76, rounding out the field. Ladies and gentlemen, this is C main racing here. As Colton Key in the 63 will get us fired off on his cue coming out of 4 the next time by. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We appreciate everybody being over here. As the IMA Midgets go C main racing coming out of 4 this time. It's going to be all on Colton Key. Colton Key runs to the bottom. Jet Martin goes to the top. Going to be a cut down from Martin. Looking to the inside on 3 and 4 is going to be Jet Martin. He'll take it away with a slider that time. There goes Colton Key. Another slider going into 1 and 2 from Key on Martin. They're battling it out here for the lead at Kokomo. Another slider in 3 and 4 from Martin over Key. At the line, it's going to be Martin. Slider in 1 and 2 from Key. Cut down for Martin. Martin holds onto the lead going down the back straightaway as Key will look on the inside, try to take the nose away. We've got a slider fest here in the C-Main, ladies and gentlemen. As Colton Key and Jet Martin continue to battle it out for the lead here at Kokomo. It's going to be all who gets to the line first, as now you see Turnbull joining in on the fun. James Turnbull joining the fun with the leaders. He's up 9 spots, currently in second. It's a battle for the lead here, ladies and gentlemen, as we've got slider after slider here between the leaders. Colton Key working on Martin and Turnbull. Turnbull cut down to the inside. Little bit of contact in the wall there for Colton Key, as Colton Key now looks to the bottom. What a battle for the lead. Double slider. Wow, that was a good shot, ladies and gentlemen. What do you got to say? This is your C-Main. We've got 5 laps to go as these cars continue to battle it out here at Kokomo. What a battle for the lead. The IMA Midgets know how to put on a show, that's for sure. All these cars maintaining good racing. A little bit of a lose of speed there for Jet Martin as he almost collected Turnbull. Or no, excuse me, that was Turnbull on Jet Martin. As now Colton Key has managed to pull away from Turnbull and Martin. It's going to be a white flag that time by for Colton Key. Checkered flag, Colton Key, James Turnbull up 9 spots to finish second. Third will be Jet Martin, then Cody Malley up 6 spots in the 4th spot. TK O'Brien goes up 7 spots, finishing 5th. Baker, Golding, Jones, Holiday, Crawley, Heinz, and Theron will round out the field. Ladies and gentlemen, that C main was full of excitement. We can only hope the A main's half that good, as that was great racing from the leaders. As now we are going to be getting ready to go for B main racing. Starting on the pole is going to be Lucas Malden in the 55. To his outside to be Ethan Brown in the 34. Second row inside is going to be Bentley Summers in the 3 machine. To his outside to be Brian Hubert in the 56. Third row inside includes Wout Huffmans in the 48. To his outside to be Mason Skinner in the 926. Fourth row inside to be Eric Botelho in the 2 machine. To his outside to be Anthony Villagrán in the 42. Fifth row inside includes Jake Erickson in the 26 and Hayden Colton of the 009. Sixth row inside includes your C main winner, Colton Key in the 63 and James Turnbull in the 33. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for B main racing. We're going to have 14 laps here at Kokomo, as we're only going to hope that Colton Key and Turnbull can both make their way up to the front of the pack. Them guys were battling it out in the C main. We hope that they can continue their night here at Kokomo, as they're going to need to finish up towards the front of the pack to make it to the feature event. As it's going to be all Lucas Malden this time, coming off a 3 and 4. Green flag racing for Malden. Got a little bit of the grass on the start. The IMA Midgets come to Kokomo to put on a show. That is for sure. As you see, quite the battle for second, third, and fourth spots between Huffman, Summers, Brown, and Botelho. As Hoffman's will get credited with first place that time at the flag stand. There's Lucas Malden working on the bottom. On the high side of the raceway that time in 1 and 2. How about Wout Huffman's up 4 spots, currently fighting for the lead, trying to hold these guys off behind him. He is going to be your lead sitter right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the B main also putting on a show all the way through the pack, slider after slider. Clean racing for the most part. Look at the slider in 1 and 2. From Wout Huffman's in the 48. Lucas Malden continues to stay on the bottom there in 3 and 4. He'll take the bottom in 1 and 2 as well. Hoffman's goes to the outside of the speedway. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? We've got 7 laps to go here in their B main race. It's going to be all Lucas Malden this time by. He's got about 0.7 of a second over second place. Wout Huffman's trying to hold on to second as Ethan Brown is trying to get his spot back in second. Hoffman's up 3 spots. As now you see James Turnbull battling it out for the 5th spot. Up 7 spots, currently rocking 5th is Turnbull. He's on the top side of the speedway there in the 22 machine. Good looking race cars here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the sliders being thrown. You see him getting up on the back wheels, hold the front wheels up in the air. That looked like the 3 machine of Bentley Summers and the Apex Labs sponsored 3 machine. So we've got one on his lid there on the front straightaway. He'll get out of the way. White flag for Malden. Malden needs to keep his nose clean here. Going into 3 and 4. He'll move up a little bit off the bottom just to cause no errors. Checkered flag for Malden. Followed up will be Hoffman's, Brown, Summers, Botelho, Turnbull, Skinner, Villagran, Colton, Huber, Erickson, and Colton Key will round out the field. Unfortunately, it looks like Colton Key's night will come to an end after he had a great C-main race. As ladies and gentlemen, they are going to get a practice session in before the feature. Let these guys make some final adjustments before the feature show. So we will be going to a quick commercial break. Once again, I'm Tri-State Race Media up here in the booth over here at Fearless Broadcasting. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Get all your friends in here joining the lives as they put on quite the show here on Wednesday nights with the IMA Midgets. Once again, we couldn't thank our sponsors enough. Some of them include Apex Labs, DG Cinematography and Editing, DC Dig Setup Shop, the IMA Midgets Series, and Fearless Broadcasting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and hop on over to our commercial break, and we will be back with your A-Main.
Built on 70 years of development and race technology, iBox exclusive high tensile strength spring wire is wound for maximum travel and control. Cycled and rate tested for repeatable performance, iBox industry leading manufacturing and quality means you can rely on iBox race springs to get you to the podium. Proudly made in the USA, iBox, the worldwide leader in high performance suspension, engineered to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your A-Main here at Kokomo Speedway in Kokomo, Indiana. Starting on the pole is going to be Graham Huffman in the 05. To his outside will be Dane Culver himself in the 50 machine. Second row inside will be Hank Cerez in the 22. To his outside will be Cody Parmley in the 16. Third row inside will be Parker Leak in the 1. To his outside will be Manning Urish in the 36. Fourth row inside to conclude Leo Rubio in the 25. To his outside will be Grayson Price in the 8 machine. Fifth row inside it will include Cullen Hutchison in the 83. To his outside will be Logan Julian in the 85. Sixth row inside will be Riker Morrow in the 95. To his outside will be Aiden Price in the 49 machine. As then you'll have Lucas Malden in the 55 starting 13th. To his outside will be Walt Huffman's in the 48. And the 8th row rounding out the field to be Ethan Brown and Bentley Summers in the 3 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for some A-Main racing here at Kokomo. As it's going to be all Graham Huffman coming off a 3 and 4 this time. A little bit of a jump start there from Culver. He had to get on the binders to avoid the black flag. As Culver will go to the top side of the raceway. We only had 4 of the 16 cars on the top. The other 12 are on the bottom. As Dane Culver in the 50 will be the leader that time, going on 3 and 4. As you can definitely tell, the speedway has slowed down just a little bit. How about Hank Cerez looking at the inside of Culver? Takes it over momentarily. He washes up the raceway. Flag stand. It's going to be Cerez still in the first place spot. Dane Culver trying to keep her gripped up on the bottom. Got a little bit of a wheel stand there on the back straightaway. Was the 50 machine of Dane Culver. He got into the tire. Ladies and gentlemen, your second place car of Dane Culver got into the tire. That will bring out the yellow flag. That will bring out the yellow flag. First caution here at Kokomo as Dane Culver himself got into the inside tire there in 3 and 4. Also collected Grayson Price, it looks like. As Hank Cerez will currently be your leader. Yo, shout out to Goob in the chat. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate ya. We are currently A-Main racing here at Kokomo with the IMA Midgets. Hank Cerez leading the way. Followed by Cody Parmley, Parker Lake, Graham Huffman, and Cullen Hutchinson will be your top 5. That'll be Manning Urish, Ethan Brown, Wout Huffmans, Riker Moore, Leo Rubio, Bentley Summers, Lucas Malden, Julian, Aiden Price, Dane Culver, and Grayson Price will round out the field. We're going to be green flag racing this time for Cerez. He gets him started early in the entry of 3. It's going to be a delayed yellow. The caution truck comes back on. We didn't like that start there. As we'll get at least one more little half a lap in. Pace truck comes back off. And back out onto the track as we had one of the cars trying to join back in. I believe that is going to be the 50 machine of Dane Culver. Dane Culver had some tough luck as he got into the inside tractor tire. He will now find himself rounding out the back of the pack in 15th spot. Green flag racing for Cerez. Cerez going to the top side in 3 and 4. You're going to have Cody Parmley working the bottom. Not too sure what's going on with the timing tower graphic there, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize about the middle of the pack being too blurry, I guess. Looks like multiple names running together there. As you're going to have Hank Cerez, Cody Parmley, and Parker Leak battling it out for the podium spots. Parmley and Cerez currently battling it out. How about Cody Parmley up 3 spots? Currently took the lead away from Cerez. Cerez keeps washing up high in 3 and 4. Dropping her in the low side there on 1 and 2. Trying to catch it back up to Parmley. Cody Parmley on the bottom side of the speedway. A little bit of slow speed there coming out of 3 and 4. Cerez starting to catch him just a little bit maybe. As Cerez and Parker Leak are battling it out for the 2nd spot. as you see them continue to fight in the back of the pack. You're looking right now at the 55 of Lucas Malden. Lucas Malden up 5 spots, currently rocking in the 8th spot. Wout Huffman's up 7 spots, rocking in the 7th spot. And Ethan Brown up 9 spots, currently sitting 6th. As these guys are going to continue to try to battle him out. How about Graham Huffman? He needs the points here tonight. Graham Huffman needs to try to track down the leaders. Graham Huffman is currently sitting in 3rd place in the IMA points with 100 points. Only 3 points separate your top 3 in points, as he could definitely get him here, as the top 2 in points are not here tonight. He could definitely take over the lead in points. Yellow flag on the speedway, as it looked like Aiden Price got caught up into something. As Aiden Price in the 49 machine will now be in pit row, trying to get a little bit of work done to that race car. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your second caution here at Kokomo. The IMA Midgets have put on a show so far. We've seen quite the battle through the C main and B main event. We'd like to see the leaders get back caught up together in the A main. The track has slowed down quite a bit, as it's going to take somebody who knows how to set this car up once that track gets slick to be able to maintain it here at the end of the race. We're going to be green flag racing this time by, as Cody Parmley get us fired off out of 4 on his cue. Green flag for Parmley. Cerez trying to stay with him going into 1 and 2. Cerez goes to the top side of the speedway, see if he drops it in the middle here in 3 and 4. He'll wash up high, get into the wall just a little bit, straighten his car out. Cerez currently still rocking 2nd. As Cody Parmley, Parker Leak have taken over the 1 and 2 spots. Cerez in 3rd. Cerez continues to wash up high off of 3 and 4. I believe that's what's costing him his speed here tonight. Kind of throwing it around the raceway, as now you see Parker Leak up on the top side of the raceway. How about Ethan Brown now joining in the fun, as he's going to start battling out with Cerez and Leak. Ethan Brown up 12 spots. Took the 3rd place spot away from Cerez. Ethan Brown, 12 spots up to 3rd. As he's going to try now to catch up to the 2nd place machine of Parker Leak. As we have got quite the show here so far as well in the IMA Midgets A main. 27 laps to go this time by. The flag stand for Parmley. Wout Huffman's up 9 spots, rocking in the 5th spot. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize about the timing tower. Not too sure what's going on with that. It worked great all night. That is some of the issues with these broadcasts. I do apologize. We've got 12 people in the live. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. This is the IMA Midgets at Kokomo. As you see, a yellow flag on the speedway. Looks like Logan Julian may get involved in that. He's going to find himself in pit row. Logan Julian in the 85 machine, down 5 spots now, rocking in the 15th spot. Aiden Price is also down 2 laps in the 14th spot. It looks like he got into one of those cautions earlier in the night. As so far, Cody Parmley is in the lead, up 3 spots. Parker Leak also up 3 spots in the 2nd place spot. And Ethan Brown up 12 spots, currently rocking in 3rd. This caution may go in his favor. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you stick around here tonight after the feature event. We will be interviewing the top 3 drivers. Goob is still rocking it in the chat. Appreciate you being here, brother. Thank you for the support. Couldn't do it without you guys. Cody Parmley's going to get us fired off at 3 and 4 this time. As you see, all the cars there go to the bottom side of 3 and 4, coming to the start. As Hank Cerez is going to try to be battling it back out for the 3rd place spot. You're going to have him 3 wide for 2nd going into 3 and 4. As the track has definitely slowed down here, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of contact on the wall for that 2nd place car, Cullen Hutchison. Excuse me, not Cullen Hutchison. Going to be Hank Cerez, Parker Leak battling it out for the 2nd place spot. A little bit of contact there on the back end of Leak from Cerez. Ethan Brown trying to join in the fun. You'll see him drop down low in 1 and 2. Cerez is getting in the contact. He'll take over the 4th spot now, or go down to the 4th spot, excuse me. As Parker Leak, Ethan Brown are now going to be battling it out for the 2nd spot. We've got cars all over the raceway here tonight, on the bottom, in the middle, on the top. Everything's working for him here, trying to chase down the leader. Ethan Brown and Hank Cerez battling it out for the 3rd position. As it's going to be all Cody Parmley still at the time being, up about 0.2 of a second over 2nd place. Parmley looked a little bit slow that time out of 3 and 4 as Parker Leaks on the top side of the raceway. Parmley starting to look a little slow as he may be trying to set it in the corners. Those corners have slicked off tremendously in 3 and 4. 1 and 2's not as bad. Parker Leak trying to make the top side of the raceway work here in Kokomo, Indiana, Kokomo Speedway. IMA Midgets, 14 laps to go for Parmley. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? We've got 12 laps to go. Parmley, Leak, battling it out for 1 and 2. Parmley got into the infield just a little bit. That's going to let Leak close down the door. Leak's going to wash up Ty in 3 and 4. Parmley stays to the bottom. Parmley still holds it over Leak for the time being. We've got a caution on the speedway as, oh no, it looks like Hank Cerez got caught up into that. He was battling it up there for podium position. Hank Cerez is going to fall back down to 13th spot, down 10 spots from where he started. This will bring out your 4th caution here tonight. As we've got a 16-car field for the A main. Looks like we've got at least 2 drivers out of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of the IMA Midgets here at Kokomo? We had 4 or 5 heat races. A D main, C main, B main, and an A main here tonight. We've got working on a 50-lap feature for the time being. We're going to be green flag to go this time by for Cody Parmley, followed up by Parker Leak, Ethan Brown, Graham Huffman, Colin Hutchison, and Wout Hoffmans. Be your top 6 that time. Dane Culver trying to make his way back up to fighting position. You've seen Dane Culver collect the infield tractor tire early in the race. He's currently rocking in the 7th spot. Cody Parmley on the bottom side of the raceway as we've got another caution. It was going to be the 34 of Ethan Brown upside down on the back straightaway was Ethan Brown. Ethan Brown started 15th. He will currently be sitting in 13th now, which is technically the last of the field. 14th, 15th, and 16th are all out of the race. 13 drivers remaining here in the A main. We're on our 5th caution here at Kokomo. We hope that everybody in the stands and watching at home is enjoying the action. As Cody Parmley is going to try to hold on to finish off the race. It's not going to be an easy task, though, as Parker Leak has been giving him a run for his money. Both your 1 and 2 place drivers at the moment are both currently up 3 spots. Graham Huffman started off on the pole. He's down to 3rd, down 2 spots. How about Wout Huffman's? Up 10 spots. Currently sitting 4th. It's going to be green flag racing back at Kokomo for the IMA Midgets. Parmley got him fired off of 4. What do you say, ladies and gentlemen? We've got 8 laps to go this next time by. Parmley making it work for him on the bottom. As you see the slider there from Huffman. Huffman trying to catch back up to Parker Leak, but also trying to hold off Hoffman's. And how about Dane Culver coming back into the conversation? Yellow flag on the speedway. Yellow flag on the speedway, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like Saraz and Ethan Brown may have possibly caused something at the back of the pack. Ethan Brown's going to get his lap back now. Hey, Goob, thanks for tuning in, man. Tell Christian I said I appreciate her, brother. Couldn't do it without the support, that's for sure. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tri-State Race Media up here in the booth for Fearless Broadcasting. You can find me on all the socials as well at Tri-State Race Media. Once again, we appreciate everybody being here. Couldn't do it without everybody. As the pace truck's going to come off the speedway, we're going to be getting ready to go green flag racing this time out of 4. Cody Parmley will lead us. Green flag racing now. We're going to have 6 laps to go. Parker Leak's going to try to make it work on the top side. Going to try to track down the leader of Parmley. Parmley sticking to what he knows best here is what's been working for him here all night long. Sticking to the bottom. A little bit slow out of the corners, but he maintains the momentum, and that's what it all comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. Dane Culver trying to find his way back into the podium as he's fighting for the 3rd spot with Graham Huffman. Graham Huffman also trying to make his way back up there. Culver and Huffman battling it out for 3rd. As you see in the 2nd place car, Parker Leak get up into the wall just a little bit. Dane Culver drops down to the bottom side of the raceway. He's going to try to do what Parmley's doing. He washes up just a little bit to try to take the nose away from Huffman. They go into the 1 and 2 side by side. A little bit of a slider there from Huffman. They're both slow. They're going to have to check up his Culver. Huffman took over the bottom side. It's the white flag. Cody Parmley will get the win, followed up by Parker Leak, Graham Huffman, Dane Culver, Lucas Malden, Leo Rubio, Hank Saraz, Bentley Summers, Wout Huffmans, Manning Urish, and Ethan Brown will round out the top 10. Then you're going to have Riker Morrow, Cullen Hutchison, Aiden Price, Logan Julian, and Grayson Price will round out the field. As we had a little bit of a contact there from, looked like Dane Culver on Cody Parmley. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in just a couple of moments with your post-race drivers interviews. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the booth with your third place finisher of Graham Huffman. Graham Huffman started on the pole. He is also your third place in points. Graham Huffman, go ahead and walk us through what it took here tonight to still wind up in third.
Well, first off, I put too little fuel in, and I was railing the fence at first, and then I had to fuel save a little bit in the middle, so I fell back a couple positions. But my coach, Mason Vincent, he got me through everything here today. Without him, I couldn't be here.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on your third place finish here tonight at Kokomo. You're also sitting third place in points, and both the first place point sitter and second place point sitter were not here tonight. So we can obviously hope that after a good podium finish here tonight, that you move up in those points. So hopefully we look forward to seeing you back next week. Go ahead and thank your sponsors on that race car of yours.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Mason Vincent and Dingus Pingus Racing. Mason's really taught me everything I know about racing.
Alrighty, man. Well, congratulations on your third place finish, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Thanks, bud.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the broadcast booth with your second place finisher of Parker Leak. Parker Leak started in 5th place, came up 3 spots to hold on to second place here tonight at Kokomo. Parker, go ahead and walk us through your performance and what it took to hold off the guys behind you and also trying to track down Cody Parmley.
Yeah, I just had to play patient there the first about 25 laps. Then you got to finally get going. You want to kind of save your tires a little bit. I don't know. Parmley had that thing stuck like glue to the bottom. I couldn't really catch him. I mean, I got up to him at one point, and then I don't know what happened, but I lost everything I had, and he was just gone, ran away with it.
Well, Parker, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight, up 3 spots from the 5th spot. Who do you got to think on that fast race car of yours?
I'd like to thank Mason Vincent. He taught me everything I know about these midgets. Dingus Pingus Racing. I got the hot tune on it. Dan Colbert for the awesome event. That'd probably be about it.
All righty, Parker. Well, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight at Kokomo. We look forward to seeing you back out there next week.
Thank you. We'll be seeing you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for the driver's interviews. Cody Parmley was not able to make it to the broadcast booth after his first place finish. Up 3 spots was Cody Parmley. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we like to thank everybody for being over here at Fearless Broadcasting. I am Tri-State Race Media up here in the booth. You can find me on all the socials as well. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on Fearless Broadcasting every Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesdays with the Wild West Dirt Tour late models. Wednesdays with the IMA Midgets. And we look forward to catching everybody out there on the next one. Until then, we'll catch you later.